Welcome to Conversations. I'm Ken, and I'm here with Enya.
Yes.
Enya, introduce yourself.
Yes. My name is Enya. I'm from Texas, Houston, and Dallas. I've lived in both places. Ask me questions. I don't know. I don't
Enya,
know.
of course. So you say you're from Houston and Dallas, right?
Yeah.
So what does that even mean? You kind of were raised going back and forth. Like, why do you say you're from both areas?
So I was originally born in Chicago, but I moved to Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas when I was like 6 years old.
Yeah.
I grew up there until I was like 15, and then I moved to Houston and was here for like 11, 12 years.
Yeah.
But then I just moved back to Dallas. So
Yeah.
I claim Houston and Dallas because I've been living my life in both places.
And a lot of people, they say that Houston and Dallas is number one, very different. And Houstonians don't like people from Dallas, and Dallas don't like people from Houston, because like they seem to be. This is my opinion. Born and raised in Houston, Dallas people seem like super pretentious. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. So
See?
okay, so I try not to have too much of an opinion on that because I feel like there's pros and cons to both cities.
Okay.
I do feel like in Houston, there's more of a freedom with certain people within themselves. So like people out here, I feel like a little bit more like raw and real in themselves as an original person, where in Dallas, I have been around areas that are a little more a little pretentious. I wouldn't say in such a negative way, but you can tell the energy difference. I like Dallas for certain reasons, and I like Houston for certain reasons.
You got to name them reasons. I mean, why? To me, Houston goes number one, but there's no hate to all the Dallas. So what does Dallas have that Houston doesn't have, and vice versa?
Okay, I will say I appreciate Dallas's infrastructure and architecture. I'm really big on landscape and how a city presents itself.
Yeah.
So Dallas put a lot of money into their city, and it's a gorgeous city. I mean, it's one of my favorite cities.
It is.
It's beautiful.
That's right.
It's beautiful to drive through. The nightlife is also like really awesome out there. There's so many places to go, a lot of people to meet. I do like the party lifestyle out there a little bit more compared to out here, just because they have, I feel like, so much more to offer. Now, Houston, what I like about Houston again is more the people. Where in Dallas is more of the landscaping and sort of like the money that they put into having the beautifulness that it does have.
So you said that you were born in Chicago as well.
Yeah.
Now, how much of Chicago do you have in you? Is there any Chicago besides you just having it on your birth certificate on there?
My attitude. No. I mean, my parents were born and raised there. They moved me out pretty early on because they're from a bad neighborhood. They didn't want me to grow up like that. So I am grateful that I came out here to Texas. I do remember bits and pieces of when I was a little girl in Chicago, and like, that always feels like a bit of home to me, but Texas is obviously more of where I've spent my life.
I've heard that food in Chicago is pretty good. Is it true?
Yeah. Well, see, Houston has a lot of different food, but so does Chicago.
Okay.
So I do like Chicago has so many ethnicities. I feel like even more than Houston. And I love diversity. I love just like a whole bunch of different types of people coming together and like having different restaurants and their food in different restaurants. So I feel like that's also why Chicago is known for its food, because there's so much diversity out there.
That's right. So you say it's just as diverse as Houston?
I would say even a little more.
Even a little more? How's that possible? So like, well, how do you compare the two? Like, why is it more diverse in Houston? Because Houston, you got the Southwest Side, you got Chinatown,
yes,
right?
Yes, I understand.
You got Harwin, you got so many different areas that the whole melting pot, you can find the whole world within it. So what is Chicago? Like, how does it beat Houston in diversity?
So what I have noticed, especially when I've gone out there to visit, is that there's a lot of mixed races in Chicago. So you're getting a whole bunch of people from all over the world coming together and making beautiful babies from different races, okay? In Houston,
Yeah.
I don't see as much mixed races.
Okay.
I do see a lot of diversity, but I tend to see different cultures just sticking within themselves. And in Chicago, it's more of like everything that melts together,
That's
and
right.
everybody is just with everybody, and like that is what I personally love.
Why do you love that? Why do you love the intermingling of different cultures instead of like the segregation of it?
Well, first of all, I'm Puerto Rican, full Puerto Rican, and Puerto Ricans come from a background of African American, Spaniard, and Taino Indian, right? So I already come from a background that's integrated, which is what created Puerto Ricans.
Yeah.
So I grew up with a lot of different races and nationalities. My parents always taught me we get along with everybody. We have the same blood. We all have the same blood. Doesn't matter what color you are. So that's how I look at things, and I feel like I love it when I just see people not worried about somebody else's culture, but just loving each other for a human, just being a human and having a soul and having the same blood. So for me, I'm all about sharing and being together and intermingling and having babies, mixed cultures, all of that. That's all, everything I love.
What is one of the biggest things that you've learned about life, just learning from other cultures? What is mingling with other cultures taught you in general in life, or even about yourself, if it has?
That we are more alike than we are different.
How so?
That's when it comes to struggles, we've all been through them. When it comes to pain, we all hurt the same. It doesn't matter why we're hurting, but we all hurt. At the end of the day, I've learned that we could love each other so deeply, regardless of your culture, regardless of mine, regardless of your race. We can all connect on something. It's all about finding it and wanting to connect on something. To me, that's more important than anything else. Connect with people. Doesn't matter who they are, connect and appreciate them as a person, and not for anything outside of that, just for this inside, on the inside.
What did you learn that from? What did you learn that perspective about wanting to even want to connect with people outside of you? You know, because everybody's not like that.
Yeah. I think because I was just exposed to so many different nationalities and races growing up. I wasn't even raised around Puerto Ricans. I was raised around Mexicans, blacks, whites, Arabics, like Middle Easterns, and I made really good friends within all those groups, friends that were so close to me.
Yeah.
That when I was able to connect with each and every one of them, go to their family's house, they'd come to my family's house, and our families all got along, it's like we couldn't see anything but just who we were from within. Color didn't matter, culture didn't matter. Of course, we all have our cultures, and our cultures are each beautiful and individual to itself, but I feel like it goes so much deeper than culture. The love for each other goes deeper than that. It just does. And for me, I grew up mixed with so many different people, and I found so much love from all of them, and it opened me up to just always looking at life like that.
Growing up, you said you were born in Chicago, but you grew up primarily in Houston?
In Texas. So Dallas Fort Worth, I grew up primarily, and I spent actually most of my Houston life when I was older, so like all of my 20s, from 21, I know I said 15 earlier, that's wrong.
Yeah.
From 21 to like 30ish, I spent all my time in Houston.
Okay.
And I'm 31 now, and I
Okay.
just moved back to Dallas.
Okay.
So I spent most of childhood in Dallas area,
Yeah.
most of adulthood in Houston.
Yeah. So what was your childhood like? What did your childhood look like growing up in Fort Worth?
I'm the only child.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so you selfish.
No.
You know what they say?
No. My parents taught me how to share at a
Okay.
very early age.
Okay.
I didn't grow up spoiled. I
Yeah.
didn't grow up selfish, just because they had so many good qualities that they wanted to teach me, all about sharing,
Yeah.
making friends, and all of that.
Yeah.
But I was the only child, and I didn't have, most of my family were still in Chicago or Puerto Rico or New York.
Okay.
So I didn't really grow up with my family. Really just me, mom, and dad for a little while. And so I'd say my parents got divorced when I was 8 years old, but before that, it was a very loving relationship for all of us. Although, you know, like we're Puerto Rican, we have a lot of fire. It's
Yeah.
very passionate, intense in the house at
Yeah,
times.
Uh-oh. People screaming at each
Yes,
other.
yes.
Oh, Lord.
You know, fights and all of
Toxic.
that. It was a little bit,
Yeah.
but for the most part, no matter what went on between them,
You're right.
they always gave me love, no matter what.
Mm.
Like, you know, you see moms and dads, like they fight and stuff and they bring their kids into it. That's one thing they never did with me. They always made sure at the end of the day, no matter what, it was not my fault. And they always made me feel like that, right? Overall, my parents were amazing. They taught me a lot. Like, they taught me like philosophy and psychology at an early age, how to open my mind, question everything, be curious, how to love and be kind to people. These are qualities that they both were just so awesome at teaching me. And they were both there for me no matter what, no matter what. To this day, they're still there for me no matter what.
That's
and
good.
I love them for that.
So growing up as an only child, did you feel lonely? Like, did you?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I felt lonely a lot,
Yeah.
at least when I was younger.
Yeah.
Because I always, you know, see like sisters and brothers and everybody playing with each other. And like, when I would go to school, I'd make a lot of friends because I was a friendly child.
You seem like you were friendly as hell.
Yeah,
You seem warm, like you just be inviting people into your space. Like you radiate welcome, basically, is what I'm saying. Yeah, but please.
So I made friends, but when it was time to go home, you know, it was I didn't have anybody to share my room with or nothing like that. And there were a lot of times, you know, when parents were arguing or something where I did feel like I wish I had a brother or sister to kind of be here with me at this moment. But I feel like when I got much, much older, it taught me how to like not need anything or anybody and like how to depend on myself. And I'm actually glad I never have brothers or sisters now in my adulthood.
Yeah.
Yes, I really am. I learned a lot from it. Like, to like think for myself and not ever ask for opinions. Like, I feel like now as an adult, I'm comfortable asking for opinions. These are skills I had to develop. But when I was
asking
younger,
for things?
Yes, asking for things. Because before, growing up, I didn't ask for anything. Yeah, I was not ever taught to ask for things. They were given to me if I deserved them, and they weren't if I didn't deserve them. But as I got older, I still kept that. But of course, you know, sometimes you do have to ask for things.
Sure.
And so I learned that along the way, and I will now. You know, I have no problem with it.
So, would you say that you're hyper independent, you know, as an adult, or can you still, well, do you have a balance between depending on friends, family, even in relationships, or do you still kind of have the mentality of, I struggle, the last thing you'll do is ask for help in any type of way? What is your mindset at?
I'm definitely not hyper independent. I like to look at things more as like a whole. So like one thing with me is I don't have too many friends, and I keep it like that on purpose. But the friends I do have in my circle are very dear to me, and I know they'd have my back no matter what. I feel comfortable asking them for stuff.
Yeah.
I feel comfortable asking my mom for something. I feel like it's important to still be able to ask for things, right? So no, I'm not hyper independent. Like if I was in a relationship, you know, my dude better give me whatever I need. Like, yes, I want that. Can I have it?
Yeah,
Like, I don't even need to ask. But
Yeah.
it's like little stuff like that. Yeah.
Now, growing up, you said that your parents heavily influenced you with love, right? Let's talk about your dad. What would you say your dad's greatest characteristic is that you truly respect about him to this day?
It is, I would like to say two things. I'll make them a little quick, but one thing.
No, please don't make it quick.
Well, not too quick.
Detail. That's a slow
quick,
stirring soup right
but
there.
not too detailed. A balance, right? Because we're talking about balance.
Yeah, of course.
So the first thing I would like to say is he's the one that taught me how to think outside of the box in every single situation. Meaning like I don't follow the norm. I'm not going to follow anything, period, really, unless I truly believe in it and my heart tells me that's the right path.
Right.
And he's the one that taught me how to be courageous in that in life you may have to be against so many people. Like you might be standing alone with a lot of people that are going to be against you in any kind of capacity. You need to know how to stand for yourself.
Yes.
So that goes into point 2. He taught me inner strength and being brave in yourself, having courage to speak up whenever you feel like something is not right, how to stand up for yourself no matter what it is. He taught me how to be strong in that capacity. So how to think and how to react.
Yeah. And what about your mom? What's her greatest characteristic and her greatest quality as a woman?
Mom taught me persistence and resilience. So mom is the only person in my family that went to college. I'm the second. She busted her ass for a long time, single with me, and she still went to school, still made it work, still got her degree. She still held down jobs. Like this was after my parents' divorce. It was just me and her for a while. She taught me that no matter how hard it gets, even being a single mother, you can still make it. You can still do it. Do whatever you have to do to get there. So for her, she had to be strong. She had to be resilient. In order to make sure I came up good, she had to make sure she was going to become successful no matter what. And she did. And now she's like an entrepreneur, a businesswoman. She has multiple businesses. She did it. And she had no help. So that's what she taught me is go for what you want all the way. Focus on it. And it doesn't matter what comes. Knock it off. Just let it go and keep moving.
Now, you mentioned the D word. You mentioned divorce, right? And you grew up with both of your parents in the household at one time, and now they get divorced. You saw kind of like the fights that they were having, as you mentioned. What was that period of time like when they got divorced, and what kind of effect do you think it had on you as you were growing up?
It had a pretty bad effect for some time. I'd say I was a daddy's girl initially growing up. And so when the split happened, the divorce happened, I didn't see my dad for a while after that. And they kept their distance. And so I think I kind of went inward with everything, and I kind of detached. Like they call it repression or suppression, when you just kind of like don't remember a lot after that, or you just kind of don't even think about it and it just starts to circle itself on the inside. I feel like after that, I got angry with my mom for many, many years, and I didn't like her for many years because she divorced my dad.
Wow.
There were specific reasons I understand, but
as a child,
I don't understand that, right? So it did take a toll on me. It did. I don't know. I feel like the way I dealt with it was repression. That's it. Repression. Just don't even think about it. I feel like when I got older, a lot of that has come out in different ways that I have worked on within myself. I've grabbed it in my mind because I see it happening. Like this is something that I never really got through, and I have worked through it, and I've focused on it, and I've written it down and see it's not my fault. It never was my fault. And this happens, you know, a lot of families get divorced, and it does hurt the kids. It does. I don't disagree with divorce. I feel like it's needed at times. I truly do. And I feel like it's a necessity in certain circumstances. And I do feel like the children can heal from it, but it does take a lot. And it also takes a lot of self-awareness as the person gets older to look back and want to fix certain things in themselves that they maybe blame themselves for that had nothing to do with them.
What did you blame yourself for?
I feel like it was, to be honest, for me, I feel like I blamed myself less than I blamed my mom. I was really mean to her. Like after all of that, I mean, for the next, I think like 9 years, I held like a resentment towards her, and me and her, our relationship was broken for most of my childhood after that. There was no reason for me to blame her, but as a child, that's all I think about. Of course, my dad and my mom have their own reasons why it needed to happen. I don't blame any of them for it. I forgot your question.
What was that journey like, and the effects of it, of healing from that journey? Right.
I think, so I started studying psychology after high school,
Okay.
and I got my degree in that.
Okay.
Really studying psychology helped me to understand human nature, human behavior, and human actions. So looking back at their relationship, I understand now as an adult why it was not going to work and it was not going to be healthy for me as the child.
Yeah.
And that helped me to forgive my mom, and it helped me to understand my dad as well. So as I became an adult, it no longer affected me. Like today, I don't feel like that affects me because I understand it so well.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So would you say that you're liberated from the shackles of their decisions and maybe their mistakes?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I understand both of them so wholeheartedly. No matter what the circumstances was, people, we come here and we go through a lot in life, experiences, we grow up learning certain ways, and they may not be healthy for us. Coping mechanisms that can destroy lives outside of their own. And I feel like we're all just really trying to cope. And sometimes we cope in really bad ways. I feel like the divorce sometimes has to happen because two people can't cope anymore, they can't move forward. But really, everybody is just hurting inside at the end of the day. Everybody. Everybody does whatever that thing is to somebody else because they're hurt. It's not an excuse. I feel like everybody should take responsibility for it, but there's a difference between understanding a person and giving them excusing them. I understand why people do things that are not nice. I understand it.
Yeah.
I don't excuse it, but that's why I feel like I was able to get over it too, because I understood where both of them were coming from. I love them.
Have you ever been in love yourself?
I have, yes.
What does it feel like to be in love?
This one is an interesting one for me. So I grew up thinking that love was being like, oh my God, like head over heels, I'm madly in love with you, I would die
Cinderella,
for you. Yes,
Beast,
but even more intense than that, because my family was very intense in their fighting and in their love.
Latinos are usually hot.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
hot,
So for us, everything is just deep and it's intense. So I grew up thinking this is what love looks like the fighting, arguing, but then the loving hard, fighting hard, loving hard.
Throwing stuff at each other and then like 2 hours later all booed up.
I love you. That's kind of what I feel like I grew up with.
Okay.
So that was normal to me, but as I got older, I realized that was not normal. It's not normal. It's not healthy. Every relationship should have its fair share of arguments, but you only should go to a certain degree. There's certain boundaries and lines in my belief system couples should never cross if they respect each other. Period. It doesn't matter. I will walk away before I cross a line.
What are those boundaries that you think that couples shouldn't cross?
For me, certain lines that should not be crossed in a relationship are hitting each other, whether it's a slap, and I mean it's both ways, because women like to put their hands on men, and I don't agree with that either. So that is like complete disrespect. You should not be together. Cheating, to me, also complete disrespect. You should not be together. And just like demeaning words, so like emotional abuse, like talking down on people, calling them names, like making them feel like less of, to me, that's also a no-go.
Yeah.
It should not happen in any relationship. So like for me, I was like, oh, that's okay, that's okay. But I learned the hard way, and I realize now as a grown-up that no, it's not okay. It's toxic. I don't agree with toxic. It's not fun. It's not cute. When there's a toxic relationship and both adults are playing part, they need to get away and work on themselves. That's just what it is. And so I've had to do it myself. So I understand.
So your love, being in love, you thought it was toxic. It was supposed to be.
It was supposed to be like that.
Like what you saw growing up, the fighting and then the making up later and pretending like nothing happened. Okay. So then, when was the last time that you felt truly head over heels over a guy?
I'd say about 3.5 years ago.
How long were you guys together?
It only lasted 9 months.
9 months?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a fiery 9
It was.
months. 9 months that felt like 5 years.
It did.
So we'll call him Billy, right?
Okay, sure.
So when you first met Billy, what captured you about him? What did you like about him at that time?
The way he carried himself, his demeanor. So
Yeah.
he was like in a room with his friends. Well, it was like a club sort of deal. And
You like the club? Oh my God.
It was in a club.
Yes. I know your type already.
No, not my type anymore.
Okay.
I'll tell you that.
Oh, you're retired now. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay. So, but the way this specific person carried themselves, it was very like they didn't need anything. They didn't have to prove themselves. They were quiet, contained, and had a smile on their face. And it was just something about that energy. It didn't give off desperation. It gave just complete confidence in oneself. And they weren't looking at everybody. They weren't trying to holler at this girl, that girl,
Yeah.
you know, like they were just in themselves with their friends, having a good time dancing with their friends. And like, to me, that was everything. I was like, wow, you know, I don't see that often. You know, when I have seen men in clubs, they're usually chasing or trying to look good or
Trying to get all
trying
the
to impress.
numbers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's not attractive to me. So
Okay.
this particular person stood out in that way to me.
So you remember the first date that you had with Billy?
Yeah.
Tell me about that first date.
We went walking downtown Houston on a night that wasn't so busy. We did a little bit of bar hopping, and we went to like this really cool bar that was like really trippy. It had a whole bunch of like artistic stuff inside of it. And we just kind of like, we weren't even really drinking. It was more of just like walking around talking about our lives, right? And so, but we went in there and like there was a DJ and it was like a cool little vibe, and we kind of just like immediately connected like on our stories and sort of the things that we liked and enjoyed. It was cool.
So you already noticed how he was keeping to himself, how he was displaying like this quiet confidence about him. But in that first date, what truly helped you connect with him that you understood when he was sharing his life story with you?
I kind of seen myself in him, and in a way that I don't feel like I ever see myself in a man before.
What do you mean by that? That's interesting.
So something about his energy that I was so familiar with in myself as well, that I hadn't really come across. Also, like certain things he had been through and the way he presented himself, some of his story was just like, I could put myself there. Like I got it. Like I truly got it. And I just don't feel like I had that often with people. Like where I actually feel like we're almost like kin, like it was a kinship. Like I knew you from another lifetime, and it felt really deep.
So you guys dated for 9 months straight. You had this connection that was almost spiritual, like you just put it,
Yeah,
deep.
that's what it felt like.
Why did it end?
This one I'm not going to get into. It didn't work out, but it is also something that I don't talk about openly with people.
Okay.
So it's personal.
So that ends 3 years ago. What has the dating experience been like for you ever since that relationship ended?
I've been mostly just keeping to myself. I've never been the type of person to go from like one boyfriend to the next. I completely understand that behavior a lot, but I've always been really like with my relationships, I've always been like so attached to the person that when we're over, it takes me a long time, many years to feel comfortable.
Many years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it usually, after my relationship, it takes many years. I haven't been in many because of that. Like, I had like a 7-year long period once where I wasn't with anybody.
Yeah. Not even casually dating people in between that time?
No.
Just straight by yourself?
Yes. I mean, I would talk to people,
Right.
but I never dated them. Like, this is not considered a date. Like, we're cool, we're friends, but like...
Oh, so you would let them know that too?
Yeah.
And they would still...
I mean, I made a lot of friends in the 7 years.
I mean, but these guys obviously don't want to be your friend.
Yeah,
You know, right?
well,
they want to date you.
but then that's also why these friendships didn't last either, because I wasn't interested in anything serious with anybody. I didn't, again, when I'm very, very choosy and picky with who I decide to get into a relationship with. And it just, because of that, I feel like I do hold myself off for many years. It's not even that I'm still stuck on the last person. It's just about, well, I'm just honestly really picky and choosy. And also personally, I do enjoy being by myself. I do.
It's that only child in you.
I think so.
Yeah,
I'm used to it.
Yeah.
I'm used to it, and like, I have friends, and I have friends that really love me, friends I could really depend on, like my circle, you know, and it's a mix of guys and girls that they've been riding with me for years.
But
like,
is it the same as a relationship? Is it
no,
romantic?
definitely not. No,
Right.
none of it.
Yeah.
None of it. Yeah, I'm talking about like the friends I have today, there's nothing romantic about them. There's nothing intimate. They're just, we are platonic friends and we're close friends and we have each other's back and we have for years. Like, those are the friends I keep close. For me, I keep to myself in terms of, you know, relationships, intimacy at this point right now. It's not that I'm damaged goods or nothing like that. Like, at a point in time, yes, I was, but I took it upon myself to work through that. And I feel like today I'm very proud of myself. I've gotten so far, and now I'm truly just single because I'm choosing to, because I'm actually thrilled with everything that's going on in my life. I'm not going to make time at this moment to bring in somebody because I don't want to, but I can whenever I want to.
Yeah.
At this time, I'm not interested.
And why aren't you interested at this moment?
Because like, my career is going to be taking off soon. I mean, I'm really busy. So I'm an artist, a painter.
Oh, awesome.
And and I just got my
Puerto Rican
master's.
Picasso and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just got my master's in psychology.
Congratulations.
So thank you. It took a long time to get there, like 9 years. And so I'm getting ready to start practicing soon, like being a therapist. And so I have 2 careers going on right now, and I'm heavily focused on it. And I have a whole bunch of pets at home. Those are my babies. Like, that's all I care to take care of. Like, I got my dog, my cats, I got a snake, rats, tarantula, all of it. But that's besides the point.
Yeah.
My point is that I have a lot going on. And I love it like that. I love to feel busy and productive. And I do feel like it's so important to take years. I feel like every person should take years to just be single. I really feel like that, because I have never learned more about myself than when I was alone. To me, my alone time means everything. That is whenever I can be honest with myself, face my own mistakes, work on my own mistakes, everything.
Yeah.
When you're with another person, yes, you can grow as well, but man, I feel like we all have a lot of work to do. We can't be jumping into relationships all the time. We really have to take a long time to just be alone. So I believe that's why I'm busy, and I like it.
You like it?
I love it.
So for all the guys that constantly walk up to you, how often do you get hit on? Would you say when you go out and let's say you're just going out with your friends and you just stepping out, and how often do you get approached usually?
Quite often.
Quite often?
Yeah,
And
I do.
what do you tell them? What do you say to the guys?
I'm not interested. Like, no, thank you.
You don't mislead nobody. Okay,
No,
that's great.
I won't. I don't have time to mislead you, and I don't want any crazies following me, because that can really, cause some obsessions and stalkers. I'm not interested.
So I have a question then. You built a life, a routine that doesn't involve anybody romantically.
Yeah.
Obviously, sometimes we're resistant to change, and we don't want to break our routine that makes us so comfortable and secure. You built this routine, so how do you go from that to one day breaking that routine that is so secure to you and is developed into your safe space?
I feel like whoever I do end up with, on a serious note, they're going to allow me to incorporate my lifestyle into our lifestyle.
Yeah.
just as I'm going to allow them to incorporate their life into our life, meaning that whatever I'm doing, it's not going to stop. I'm going to make time for them because that's important in a relationship. But they have to respect that I have things going on, my careers, you know, and they would have to respect it and not stand in the way. As long as you respect it and don't stand in the way, I support whoever I'm with, and I want to support them 1,000%. So they also got to be somebody who can match that though. Like they got to have a good career. They got to be busy too with their life so that we can build something where we're both familiar, like the same level, right? So I feel like when it comes to that point, I'm going to meet somebody that is on the same level as me, has similar things going on in their end, and it's going to mesh in a good way. Only then will I be able to kind of let a certain guard down and vulnerability and allow us to connect on a deeper level, also through that.
How hard is it to be vulnerable?
So it's much more harder for me to be vulnerable with people I don't know. So like strangers, you know.
Talking about me?
Yeah. And you guys too.
Of course.
but with like my best friends, I'm very vulnerable. I can talk to my mom about any single thing in this world, and she knows everything about me. That's my best friend. My mom is my best friend. And so I can be vulnerable with people that I trust and that I know are not going to share or talk about it. But I won't be too vulnerable with people on the outside. I will have a certain level of vulnerability, but that's going to be in terms of like certain kind of compassion or kindness. I'm going to be kind to you, man. We could talk about anything, but there's certain things I will not get into detail about within my life with people.
Is it and correct me if I'm wrong, is it like a guilty until proven innocent type of mentality, or innocent until proven guilty, or maybe it has nothing to do with that at all?
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, do you feel like the average person is going to weaponize it against you and use it against you when you share your personal dealings?
So I don't feel like everybody's like that. I have come across people that were, and I've had bad experiences with it. It is a small reason of why I'm like this, but I think most of why I'm like this is just because I don't believe that everybody necessarily deserves to know you. So what I mean by that is don't cast pearls upon swine. I'm not calling people swine, but to me
calling y'all pigs.
There's a certain truth that I feel like everybody is sacred in their own way. Now when you start to talk too much, talk about your life, share your business with the whole world, you're casting pearls onto people that don't know you. They don't care about you. They might use it or not, but the point is that I feel like it's what I have inside me is certain things that I keep to myself. It's private. You don't deserve to know. You don't know me, and I'm not going to tell you my deepest, darkest secrets. You know, not everything is meant to be exposed or shared. Some things are just meant to be personal and kept to yourself.
So you, going back a little bit, you said that not only are you a psychologist, but also an artist. How?
Therapist.
A therapist, excuse me.
Yes, it is a little different.
Oh, it's a little different. So
well, just the title.
Just the title, but they kind of do the same thing.
We do the same thing, yes.
So a therapist and a painter. Yeah. So how do those two even end up going together? You know, because one seems very analytical, right? Scientific. And then the other side is creative and free flowing. So let's talk about the therapy side, the scientific side. How did that journey come about to where you wanted to be a therapist? What made you want to be a therapist?
So initially in high school, I wanted to work with serial killers. I was like, oh, they're so cool. They're fascinating.
What movies were you watching?
A lot of serial killer movies.
What? Like Hannibal and all that?
Yeah, like
Silence
all of it.
of the Lambs?
Everything. Like, I was like, whoa, like this is so fascinating. I want to understand their minds.
That's crazy. Being in the same room, like you want to understand a murderer.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, that's where it started, right? So in high school, like, that's where it came from. I'm like, yes, as soon as I graduate, I'm going to go get my psychology degree, and these are the people I want to work with. So that's what I did. I went, but then, like, throughout my course of my bachelor's, I did meet a prison psychologist is what I wanted to be. So working in the prison system. they were kind of telling me, it's very rare that you're going to meet serial killers. That's really for the FBI. Like, and plus it's just not as likely anymore.
Anymore?
Well, okay, not anymore.
Yeah.
It's just, they're
What you mean by that?
smarter. There's the technology and everything now.
So not
It's
everybody's
just,
murdering as much as they
Yes.
used to back in the day.
Well,
That's great.
No, wait.
Okay,
People
okay.
are still murdering all the time,
Okay.
but they're just not murdering as many people at
Like
once.
Ted Bundy type style.
Yes,
Okay.
they're not doing like 12, 13 bodies before they're getting caught.
They get caught by the first,
They're getting
second.
caught by the first body,
Okay.
second, things like that. I
Yeah.
wanted to really talk with people that are like been doing it for a long time,
Okay.
but I feel like I grew out of that though. I will say that. I feel like it was more of I'm not gonna say immature, but more of a childish like
Some
fantasy.
sick fantasy.
I think so.
I want to know what motivates them.
Yeah, no, but it became less about that.
Yeah.
And then a little bit more about, well, I'm still interested though in why they do it. Like I am curious, but even then I started feeling like, well, I understand why they do it. Like studying psychology, there's something going on, okay? And there's something going on, whether it's their experiences in their childhood, a mental disorder, there's something going on that it's not so surprising to me anymore. I get it, okay? I'm not saying I agree with it, I get it. So it became
I
less...
hope you don't say you agree with it.
I know.
Yeah.
It became less of a fascination because I started feeling like, well, they're just like any other person. They just got some other stuff going on, right? So, and it became more about, well, I started just changing up of who I wanted to work with. But basically, as I have gotten my master's, really, I'm going to start working with people with psychosis and schizophrenia, as I feel like those people are really misunderstood. I was doing an internship in a hospital for some time, and I got to do therapy with a lot of people who were coming in there that were homicidal, suicidal, just flying off the rockets, just seeing things, hearing things, and I had to calm them down. I had to be their voice of reason for that moment and make sure they don't hurt themselves. So I grew an appreciation for trying to, I feel like I do really well with them because a lot of people get scared of that, or a lot of people don't understand it or whatever, but these people, they're really, really struggling with some really painful things that they can't get out of. This is a severe mental illness. So actually that is something that I'd like to move forward with, as I start my career.
In my personal life, I had a childhood friend that I grew up with, and he ended up developing psychosis, schizophrenia. And it was one of those things that truly broke my heart because I knew him. This guy was all AP classes, extracurricular classes for all the super smart people. He was a very gifted child, and when we hit adulthood, I saw the changes once, it kind of unlocked. And it broke my heart because I wasn't recognizing my friend anymore.
Yeah.
And, he would become very aggressive and had violent tendencies. And he would tell me all of these different things that he was seeing and thinking. But to me, from the outside, I just think he's mad, Yeah. But I don't know, sometimes he would break down and I could see parts of the old him, and I wouldn't be able to, it was starting to blend in too much. So, speak about, you saying that they're struggling with some serious things, learning about, these patients, and have you worked with them?
Yes.
What is something that's super important that people should understand if they have a family member or a friend or even a parent that is, or even a partner that's struggling with this mental illness of, schizophrenia?
So somebody who is going through a psychotic break, this is, let's say they're hearing voices or they're seeing things. Oftentimes people will tell them, no, it's not there. Like, you're seeing things and stuff. You never want to say that because they truly believe in their mind and in their heart that this thing is happening when it's not. It is one of the most hardest things to deal with if you're a family member, a friend, because you cannot really snap them out of that. It's almost like it has to run its course. But the only thing you can do is let them know I understand. Like, I know that, like, I know that's what you think that you see. I know that's what you feel like you believe. You know, like you can't like say no, it's not there, no, it's not there, because they can't grasp it in that moment. It's not grasp, you can't. The only thing is be calm, be there with them, and just make sure they don't hurt anybody, hurt themselves, and try to understand that they are in a whole nother reality, completely disconnected from ours. There's only so much you could do, you know. I'm a big proponent of medication and therapy. Medication has helped a lot with people with schizophrenia. My grandma's diagnosed schizophrenia. She's been on medication for like 10 plus years, and it has helped her. She doesn't have the hallucinations ever since, because it was really bad with hers. And none of us knew how to deal with it. This was before I became an adult and studied it. So it's just really important to be calm with them and to not exasperate the problem, because they're going to usually be feeling like on edge, anxious, paranoid. Just got to calm them down somehow, be empathetic, listen, and more than ever have a calm demeanor when you're with them, because they feed off of, when you're in psychotic break, you're going to feed off of anything, and it's just going to rile you up more.
Obviously, you're in a nurturing position. You're helping people. How do you recharge, and what helps you recharge once you're giving so much of yourself to be there for others?
So for me, I'm really big into like meditating, reading, walking outside, hiking, painting is a big one for me. Even though I, do it as a career, it is also my peace. Anytime, I come back from a situation like that, I definitely leave it where it needs to be. I'm a big believer of do what you can in that moment, but once you're not there anymore, let it go, because it will affect you. So I'm really good at that, and I feel like that's what helps not getting burnout, is by don't take people's problems with you when you go home. So for me, when I go home, it's all about me.
It's all about
self-care. I want to read my favorite book today. I want to maybe binge watch some reality TV, like
Not
trash
baddies.
TV. Baddies, yes.
Oh my God. That's that club girl in. Not toxic baddies.
Yes, see, that's like that is a little bit of my piece too.
You seeing your parents in that show? Yeah. No shit on your parents. Sounds familiar though.
Yep. But no, it's really about just doing what you love to do when you get home, and just making time for it. Like, you just got to make time for it.
Now we got to bleed into the art now.
Yes.
So how did you find yourself being an artist on top of wanting to understand serial killers at the same time? Yeah.
I've been doing art most of my life. Since I was a little girl, I used to draw everything. So I was always creative. But I didn't take painting seriously until about 3 years ago. I had taken classes in college early on, like electives, and I hated it. But 3 years ago, I actually met a street artist that paints out here in Houston. Shout out to Uwe. Uwe. That dark-skinned artist. People from Houston will know him.
We're gonna drop the Instagram handle of Uwe.
It's at DAT darkskin _ artist. I believe it's that.
There you go.
But he was painting on the streets, and I would drive by and I'd see him in different corners with like all his paintings up, and he was just painting, and I was like, man, that is so cool. Like, I've never seen anybody just do that. And one day I got enough courage to go up and talk to him in downtown, and me and him. So
this is after seeing him multiple times.
Yeah, I finally seen him again, and I was like, man, I want to go up to him and just talk to him. And because I've always been creative, but I don't paint, I draw. And so talking to him, we sat there for hours talking, and I was like, man, he's cool as hell. And I was like, hey, can I paint with you sometime on the street? Like, I want to join you. That started my career. Like, he was like, yeah, of course. Me and him became the best of friends after that. And like, I would go on the corners with him, and I would just paint. And eventually I worked up, and then I started selling some on the street. Like, people would come up to us.
In the corners?
On the corners.
Oh,
and
wow.
like downtown streets, on Saturday nights where it's busy, packed, like we would post up there, like different streets around like busy freeways. And people would just start buying stuff. And I was like, wow, like I can really do this, you know? And then it just motivated me to do it too. And then so me and him, we like, after me came another artist that joined us, and then we met more artists, and like we almost like created this little movement. And then we started traveling to different cities and like getting our artwork out, doing live painting. And it just kind of skyrocketed from there to where I started going out by myself and just doing it by myself. Like at different parks, I'd post up with all my paintings, different streets. You know, you get kicked out sometimes. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But it's all about, he taught me that just by him doing it, it's okay to go out there, do what you love. It don't matter if you get embarrassed, don't matter if you get kicked out. Doesn't matter what happens, just do it if you love it. And that's how I found my love for painting, is that I was just starting to do it on the outside and getting a lot of people that just loved the movement, like love the fact that we were just out there doing that. And so, yeah, ever since then, you know, I ended up meeting a lot of people, networking, meeting other artists, and then, you know, doing collaborations and making pieces for other people, and just it turned into a business for me. And now it's one of my businesses.
So what does art mean to you? What does it mean to you, and what does it mean to be an artist?
This one is so difficult for me to answer because I've pondered on this quite a few times, and I still am trying to figure it out. Because, you know, it's like I've seen paintings where there's really no true skill or talent, right? And then I see paintings that have true skill and talent, but who am I to say one's not art and the other one is, just because one has more skill or talent, right? So I don't know. I feel like what makes an artist might be just like putting your emotions down raw on a canvas, even if it's crazy or even if it's, you know, to me, it's all about being real on canvas more than skill or anything like that. Now, if you're just throwing paint on a canvas and you didn't really feel that, like you were just doing something to just make a quick buck, or, you know, that's not an artist to me, because it wasn't coming from the right place. So it doesn't matter what technical skills you have, it's all about your heart. To me, art is about pouring your heart out.
What are you pouring out and communicating when you make your art pieces?
So a lot of my pieces have been faces with emotions. So a lot of them represent sort of a lot of maybe pain that I've gone through in my life, or confusion. And I express it through faces with those emotions.
And so ultimately, what do you want to be in the next 5 years with your business and art?
So I definitely want to have a gallery opened, a small little studio gallery opened in one of the downtowns, Dallas, Houston. I also really
call it into existence.
Yes, it's coming. It's
that's
coming.
That's right.
Also, I would love to, and I will be getting my certificate eventually to be able to do art therapy. So
What's that mean?
Art therapy is where, instead of like, let's say you come to a session you're having with me, instead of talking,
just finger painting?
we do art. It doesn't have to be. It could be any kind of art though. It is like I provide the canvases, the paint, and I maybe can walk you through it, or we paint together. It's supposed to be a therapeutic process, because there are some people that don't want to talk, or they don't feel comfortable talking. I've done a little bit of art therapy in my internship with like younger kids who didn't know how to open up, and they were going through a lot, and they started to open up more because I was always like, hey, you want to draw today with me? And they would draw, and I would too though. Like I made it, this is us together drawing, and then little by little they started feeling more comfortable opening up, explaining why they drew what they drew. You know, I feel like a lot of people, I feel like art is an avenue of the subconscious. So like people that have struggled in life or are struggling through something, they need an outlet. Art can be one of those outlets. And if you feel comfortable about talking about it, that in itself can also be an outlet. Like after you produce something, I mean, as your therapist, you can feel comfortable with explaining, well, how were you feeling when you put this color? Or how were you feeling when you did this shape or the style? What were you feeling? Like, what were you thinking? You know, there's a lot of therapy in art, and you can do it together. You can do it together.
What has art taught you about people and yourself?
That people are craving for a creative outlet. They're craving for it. Like, I've seen people that don't paint, don't draw at all, but when I've given them a canvas, just like off the street, to be like, hey, just put something here. Or I seen one of my artist friends like carry around a little booklet and tell everybody draw one thing. Everybody participates, whether they got skill or not. I'm like, that is awesome. Like we've had little we've had like events where we are showcasing our artwork, and a lot of people come, and we will always have like this big canvas and a whole bunch of paint, and we tell everybody, leave your marking, draw, paint whatever you want. And at the end, there's a masterpiece of everybody's take on their own, you know? And to me, that's what art has shown me, is that everybody, even if they're not creative, they want to express. They want to.
There's something to express.
There's something to expressing it, whether you, and it doesn't even need to be art, but just creativity in general, whether that's, man, I don't know, photography, music, writing, like all of it. But it's just, art is one of those things that, has taught me that. Everybody has something inside that they want to get out. And it's easier to put it on paper or, you know, than to talk about it for a lot of people.
So we've been here for an hour, believe it or not. About an hour.
That's
So before we even started this, you was like, you can talk for an hour?
I was like, that's too long.
And time went by like that. Look at that.
Yeah. Well, you're good at asking questions.
You're good at answering questions. But I want you to leave the note on a high note.
Yeah.
On a deep note. It could be goofy or not. It don't matter to me. But what's one thing that you just want people to understand about life, or something profound, a deep old quote that you got stuck in your treasure trove? Like, what do you got for everybody?
I'm a huge proponent of follow your own tune. What I mean by that is, like, I know we get really caught up in like the trends and wanting to make friends with everybody and being liked and being accepted. But there is so much power in a person who is grounded in themselves, that doesn't need anybody, but would like somebody. Doesn't need this or that, but would like it. I don't believe in hyper-independence. I believe in a healthy level of independence, meaning that be open when somebody does want to be there for you. Accept somebody into your life if you see that they have qualities that can match yours, right? Don't block everybody out, but be smart. Don't follow everybody just because you want to be in the limelight. I don't find that there's true happiness in that. Only outside validation, inner validation means everything. No matter how many people you lose in your life or come and leave, if you remain true to yourself and just follow your own tune, believe what you choose to believe and don't listen to others, follow your own values and set your own boundaries, it won't really bother you too much when people come around and they don't stay. Those people were never meant to be around you. And I think that's so important, is just be this, follow your heart and your soul. Like, your soul speaks so much louder than anybody else around. Let your soul speak, let your heart speak, and follow it, no matter what.
Follow your heart, spirit, and soul.
Yes.
We're gonna go ahead and put your link to is that okay, to the Instagram? You wanna give them your Instagram?
Sure.
Go ahead.
It is _ sweet serenade.
I don't even know why she looked at me for the underscore. Like,
I was thinking, okay, _ sweet serenade _ the way you spell serenade, SERENADE.
And we'll put ooh-wees, ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee. Yeah, you gotta follow him too. He's
So
cool.
go ahead and support her art. Thank you so much for
yes.
having this interview with
Thank
me,
you
even though
for
you was
having me.
reluctant.
I know, very reluctant, but
And you know,
I did it.
the beautiful world gets to see a beautiful spirit like yourself.
Thank
I'm
you.
excited about that.
Thank you so much.
All right, boom.
All right.
That's it.